Hey guys, today we're going to be going over Dehancer Desktop. I've been using the Dehancer plugin for Lightroom for at least a year and a half, 2 years now. I really enjoy it. I really highly recommend that you at least try it on the Lightroom version. So today we're going to be going over the new desktop version, and there's a lot of new, really cool features that I've been wanting to see for a while. I never even knew that they were releasing this, so it was a great surprise to me. Before I start out, this is a sponsored video. I actually do use this, so if you do like this, if you find it interesting, you can use the promo code PICTUREROOM for a discount, so feel free to use it. But I do highly recommend this program. I think it's really awesome. There's a lot of other features in here that we're going to go over that is not in the plugin version, such as the folders that you can access from your hard drive, from your external storage, and you can create project folders and favorites and things like that. I'll show you all that stuff, but if you're really wanting the nitty-gritty and details about how everything works in the program and things like that, I recommend that you read the Dehancer user manual first. It's about 80 pages. The text is pretty big, so you can get through it. You can do it. Take the time to read through and understand all the little nuances if you're wanting to do that and not just figure things out. So I would go ahead and do that. So what is Dehancer Desktop and how is it different from the plugin? The original plugin is limited to Lightroom and Capture One, and another thing with it is that when you go to edit a photo in one of those programs, you're needing to create an external TIFF file on top of that. So you're creating an extra file in your folder structure, which, is kind of annoying sometimes. But in Dehancer Desktop, you're able to just go ahead and edit the DNG, and when that's all finished, you can actually just export the JPEG, which is really cool. However, the way that I do this is I use an external program called Raw Photo Processor, or RPP. This is just a personal recommendation. This is what I do. I find the results to be a lot better. I'm going to show you that quickly, but before I do, you have the ability now to go into your folder structure to access your files, which is really cool. And then what you can also do is add certain folders as favorites, so then you can actually access where your folder location, your file picture location is, just really quick. So that's really cool. And what's really cool is that you have the ability now to not just for favorites, but you can also create projects from the files that you're working with. And how that works is you just go to projects, go to add, you can name it whatever you want. Dehancer project. Click OK. Go back to your working folder that you want to send to the projects folder and just select all of them. Double click, add to project. Boom, there you go. So you can kind of keep yourself organized that way. So I've got a few images here for an example. These are from Brooklyn, 2024, a couple years ago. So we're just going to be going through these. And before I do that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and process these in Raw Photo Processor. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my DNGs, and I have this all set up. This may be a separate video that I can do. If you want to see that, maybe just leave a comment and I'll maybe get to it. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to drag all these in here. I have it all configured. Hit continue. And now it's going to create a TIFF file in a logarithmic format. So it's a little bit more flatter. There's a lot more dynamic range to extract from it. And when that comes in here, go back to your original folder and it'll all display here. So there's the TIFF, TIFF there, TIFF here, TIFF there. We'll go ahead and add it to the Dehancer projects just so we have this. So here we've got our TIFF files, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now what's really cool in Dehancer is that in the plugin version, you were only able to edit one photo at a time. But now in the desktop version, you can go ahead and select all the photos that you want to edit from your session, hit enter, and now you're able to edit your first one and also copy and paste edits. So that's super cool, just from the Dehancer ecosystem that was never available, but now we've got it. So what I'm going to do now is I have a few presets that I've made for myself, and perhaps I should do a separate video on the editing controls. It is kind of its own video in and of itself. I have a few presets I've saved for myself that I created, but I'll just kind of go over as well some of the films that they have. They have it so that you have your films, but then also films with certain paper types, which is really cool. And we'll just filter through these. So you got your, Fuji here, your Cine still. So just filter through these, find something that you like that works for you. Yeah, so you can filter through these, but what I'm gonna do is just show you just my own presets for the sake of time. We're gonna take all those off. So this is the raw TIFF. We're gonna look at the TIFF files here. So no edits on these. Just process through raw photo processor. I'm gonna slap this Velvia preset that I've made on here. So you can see before, after. A quick hotkey for that is the spacebar. And then you've got your clipping notification here. Quick key is to press the U button. And then you can also zoom in 1:1. And we can see here the nice green that Dehancer is able to create here. It's a lot better than Lightroom, I will say. As well as the bloom functionality. And the halation is really cool. It's very subtle here. Just like that slight red kind of glow. But again, I'll save that for another video. So that's really cool. So say you like your edits here and you want to copy it to the other images here. So you can just Shift Command C on Mac. I don't know what it is on Windows, but you can also just right click here, copy edits, and then you could also just do the same thing, Command Shift V, edits applied, do the same for that one, and do the same for this one, and then they should populate. Now I will say, if Dehancer is listening, is that there is slightly a bug here. So when you go to apply the edit, it doesn't necessarily appear right away. It takes a second. What I've found is that if you just click onto the next image and go back, it does appear. And I'm sure you noticed that, but I thought I would mention it. So one of the things I will say that when you go to apply your preset from your first image that you worked on, what you could adjust if you don't like what you see is to go into the print module and then change the paper type, because sometimes changing the paper type does actually a lot more change than you may imagine. And I will say, since we're on this, is that the slide films, typically your profile will be linear, just as a side note, and all your color negative will be either these three paper types. So we'll just filter through that now. So that's the Enduro, that's that one. So you can see it's quite different vibe. I like the linear now, since we're using a slide film. I think it works well. You can also increase the exposure here. There's other ways to do this. Again, I'll save that for another video. And say I want a little bit more of the color density here. A quick tip is to kind of reduce color in your images. Kind of helps make them feel a little bit better. That's just my opinion. There's times when you will want to increase saturation, but I would mess with the color density first and do it that way. So before, after, that's looking pretty good. Go to the next one. That looks pretty good to me. Before, after, pretty cool. Before, after. Let's look at the textural elements here. Maybe it's hard to see in the video, but yeah, looks great to me. So when you're all happy with this and your film strip is where your editing session is for this current one, so say you're all happy with it, you just click apply up here and all those settings are saved. Now say you're ready to export, what you could do is just click all of them, just like that. You can either double click and do export, or you can hit this button up here, which is the export. So 4 images selected to process. I have my folder selected, and you can select between JPEG and TIFF as your file format. I'm just going to leave the quality at 100. Start processing. Reveal. And here they are. Take a look. Make it a little bigger here. Say this one feels a little cool to me. Let's go ahead and edit that real quick. So we're going to go back to our TIFF, and I'll show you what I would do to correct this. So I think everything else feels pretty good. So what you would do is go to source and temperature comp, and I would just maybe just touch it up just a little bit warmer, maybe a little bit more, just like that. Apply. Let's export that again. Reveal. See the new one versus the old one. Yeah, much better. Definitely the warm one. So that's the basic rundown. I really love the program. I'm very happy that we're able to have our folders and create everything within Dehancer now instead of editing just one at a time with the plugin. So, like I said, I'll look into making other more detailed videos about the editing process and also raw photo processor, as I do think those are videos for, just to focus on that, because those are 30 minutes alone, easy. I highly recommend that you check this out. There's a promo code that you can use. You can use Picture Room, all one word. And if you have any questions or recommendations that you want to see, just let me know. And I will see you next time. Thanks.